Okay, back in the shop again. My Beta 300 RR model year 2018, getting zen with my Beta. And here's a little something, again, another one of those things I've been thinking about, is a battery disconnect, or a way to isolate my battery from the rest of the bike for safety reasons, minor security reasons, and mostly, what I found is I'll be loading the bike in the trailer and boom, I hit the start button and bike turns over. It even started on me once, and so that could be a safety issue there. So this is nothing new. This is from people in actually the UK. Battery no problem. That's where I found this. It's just a battery disconnect. It's not new technology, but this is a smaller one designed for motorcycle batteries. You can see how small it is, and it'll go on the post this way. You bolt on to the post, or you can set it down the front of the battery here. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my install options on the Beta battery. Of course, when you give it a couple of turns, it disconnects, or as they say, you can take the little bolt right out, and you can have a little theft deterrent, which obviously is not so much the case with a dirt bike, because you can just pick the darn thing up. But mostly for me, it's just safety, and with the Beta seat that can pop right off, it's not a real big hassle to do it. I can just pop this thing off, pop the seat off, give that a turn or two, and disconnect it. Now, some of the arguments people make about these are they corrode. So what I'm going to do is give it a nice wipe down in dielectric grease, which should keep it from corroding. And I don't know, we'll see. It wasn't real expensive. I think it was 15 bucks US. So let's see what happens. I'll show you the install. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. I ended up putting in this direction because pointing down, it wouldn't sit flush against the terminal if I pointed it down. If I pointed it backwards, which I actually liked, so pointing it backwards, that was really clean and it fit well. My negative cable wasn't long enough. So if I made a longer negative cable, that would certainly work. And I may do that sometime, because the orientation that I have it in works well, except I can't see my little test lights unless I don't know, I'll probably see them if I look down here, but that's not a, oh yeah, I can see them. That's not a real deal killer there. But yeah, so get her good and snug, and the bike will, you can hear that, hit the button, she turn over, and all I do is about a turn, push the button, nothing. So the bike is completely disconnected at this point. So just more peace of mind than anything. I think long term we'll see how it works. I've kind of wiped it down with dielectric grease. We'll see if it gets corroded. I'm inside these bikes enough where if something's going on, I'm going to be able to see it and take care of it. It's obviously not going to corrode during a ride. It would be if you let the bike sit for long periods of time. So that's it. That's what we know. Subscribe. We'll keep following up on things. I'm going to dig out the fuses for this and get a little setup where I can carry some fuse with me in my go bag, just in case things go bad. So, all right. Thanks much. All right. Follow up on the battery disconnect. It worked real well. What I did, make one adjustment. I rotated it a bit. You can see I could rotate it and not mess that tang up. And that way I can see my battery test if I care to. But it worked great, and this was a very muddy ride. We're going to talk about mud and where mud goes on these bikes, and anybody's ever had one. The fact that they don't have fenders on them, they throw a ton of mud at your back, and it runs down this channel and down into the airbox. And we're going to talk about some things that I'm going to mess around with and try, but what happens is the airbox gets plugged and it stops draining. So lots of things on forums out there on that. Simple fixes. I think I got one. So Yep, so I'd say thumbs up for this guy so far. We'll keep reporting in, but if you want to disconnect your starter for travel, for transport, or just make your bike maybe a little safer, this is a good choice.